Hi, this is Tina with the Cuba Library, and I'm here to share with you some of our new books. We hope to make this a weekly little video to share with you some of our newest books that you can come by the library and pick up. We'll be starting curbside pickup on June 13th, so we hope to see you there. Now, the first book I want to share with you today is called Death by Dumpling. And one of the most popular genres we have at the library there in Cuba is the cozy mystery. A cozy mystery genre is characterized by an amateur sleuth who discovers or stumbles upon a dead body and decides to take the mystery solving on unto themselves. It usually revolves around a bookstore or a bakery or sometimes a library. But this one's unique because it revolves around a Chinese restaurant. So you have Lana Lee, who has to go home because her life is falling apart. She goes home to live with her parents and help work in their restaurant. And her mom's always trying to pressure her to get married. But when the property manager seems to die by a shellfish allergy, when everyone knew he was very vigilant about staying away from shellfish, she decides it's time for her to solve the mystery herself. This is number 1 in the series, and we hope to get the rest if this one proves popular. So next, I will share with you this. What About Worms by Ryan T. Higgins. This is part of the Elephant and Piggy Love to Read series, which is sponsored by Mo Willems. Mo Willems is a very popular children's author. And while he didn't write this, he does put his name on it. So to me, that's a big stamp of approval. What drew me to this initially was this cute little tiger that looks like a mashup between Tigger and Hobbes from Calvin and Hobbes. So this is a perfect book for your little one who's just learning how to read. The pages have short words, short sentences. It's action-packed, moves right along. And this is a story about a tiger who does not like worms. He's not scared of anything but worms. And it's also about the worms who are trying to decide if they're scared of him as well. Very cute. Perfect for your little one who's just learning to read. Next we have Untamed by Glennon Doyle. This is a pick from Reese Witherspoon's Hello Sunshine Book Club. Every month she picks a book, and for the most part I found that they're really good selections, and I've enjoyed almost all that I've read. I haven't read this one yet, but I plan to pick it up soon. This is a memoir. It's a nonfiction, and it's about a woman who had been married to her husband for a number of years. They had children together, and one day when she was speaking at a speaking engagement, she looked out into the crowd and saw a woman and realized that she had strong feelings. Like she says, she fell instantly in love with this woman. And so it shakes up her marriage, it shakes up her whole life. And this is a book about how she came to reconcile the sacrifices she'd made to be a wife and a mother, and versus what she needed to do in her own life to have true happiness, and how she understood the example she was setting for her children, or she came to understand that she needed to be happy in her own life to set a good example for them and to teach them how to find happiness in their own lives. So there you go, Untamed by Glennon Doyle. This one's getting quite a lot of critical attention. It's very well written, so it could be a good one for you if you are a fan of memoirs. Alright, this is a historical military fiction by Jeff Shera, and he is a military fiction genius, very well researched, very well written. He was a big name on the scene a few years ago for Gods and Generals about the Civil War, but he's written several books. The list is quite long, and he talks about the Civil War, the Korean War, and this one's about Pearl Harbor in World War II. It's told from several different viewpoints, from the president, from a Japanese soldier, a lowly civilian, a private. It's told from all different vantage points to give the reader a true snapshot of what was going on in the world at this time. So, Jeff Shara, be sure to check out To Wake the Giant. And lastly, this week, I wanted to highlight this 90th anniversary edition of The Little Engine That Could. Now, this was a book that my parents read to me a lot, and I loved the story of The Little Engine That Could. But this edition especially jumped out at me because it is illustrated by Dan Santat, one of my favorite illustrators. And so when I saw this was coming out, I knew I had to get it for the Cuba Library. Plus, train books are always very popular with our children, patrons, so I knew that this would be a good one for us. And it's also sponsored by Dolly Parton. She's a big proponent of children's literature. So, Dan Santat, Dolly Parton on this classic children's tale, The Little Engine That Could. So I hope you will check it out in a couple weeks when you have a chance to. Thank you, and I will see you next week.